Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين.
Is formerly known Richard Russell, ex-gang related gang leader, aka Capone from the streets, QB. A typical child growing up in the inner city. I was introduced to gang life very early, street life, crime. Worked my way up from being a member to a leader of a particular gang. I would leave the name out, but had affiliations at that particular time with the rap group Lost Boys. If anyone knows, Lost Boys stand for life at that particular time. So that was my beginning, a troubled beginning, but I don't regret any part of it. It made me be who I am now. Okay, how do I accept Islam? This is the question I get often, because I was 15 when I accepted Islam, and people say, well, how are you the leader of a gang at the age of 15? And when you have people who are around you that are 15, 20, 21, who are also gang related, products of their environment, nonetheless, you become mature. You can become mature in a good way, you become mature in a bad way. At that particular time of my life, it was both, good and bad. So I was 15 years old. I was involved in some gang activities that caused me to get arrested. I was in Sparford juvenile facility, and at that particular time getting arrested wasn't even an issue, because I was arrested 3 or 4 times before that, but this time I actually said, if you want to say, which wasn't an issue because I had a couple of my friends who were residing in Sparford, and I wanted to meet up with them, friends I haven't seen for some time. One of them at that particular time was arrested for a murder. His cousin was also arrested for homicide. And that's how the story of my Islam began. Because I heard of this particular friend, he had accepted Islam. So being that I was in the facility at a different location than he was, I was unable to see him, but I knew he was still there. So when I heard he had accepted Islam, the only place I could actually meet him was in the Jummah services. So I would go to the Jummah services, and of course, the reconnection of 2 friends from the street, we've been through everything together. We kind of like busted it up, and we kind of utilized the time not to benefit from the services, but to actually catch up and reminisce about things on the street to that extent. And I remember one particular time, one of the counselors, he told me, he said that he was not going to take me back to the service because I talked through the whole service, and the spot that I took, someone else might have came and benefited from that particular spot. So when we went back to the unit, or the dorm, I knew that I lost my opportunity. The next week, Jummah services, Islamic studies was called. The same staff member wasn't there. But I know that if I went there this time and talked and lollygagged and didn't use the time wisely and was disruptive, that I was going to lose the opportunity of ever coming back and ever seeing my friend. So I made a conscious decision to listen to the chaplain at Spofford Juvenile Facility, and I was going to try to utilize the time at the end of the service after they finished praying to speak with my friend and hopefully utilize that time to talk before we left and bust it up. Okay, so that's how it happened. I'm there, I'm listening, I'm starting to learn that the true Islam has no racism. The true Islam is not only for Arabs. The true Islam is not the pictures that they were showing us with Saddam Hussein wanting to harm or threaten us. Because this was in 1995, just a couple of years after the first Gulf War. So there was a lot of that rhetoric going on. Tensions were high. Accepting Islam during that time was not something that was the first thing a person would want to do. While I'm there, I'm starting to listen. I spoke to the Imam, the chaplain, and I asked him for Quran. And when he gave me the Quran, I took it back to my unit and I started to read it. I was always a very intelligent child, so I never had a problem with comprehension. But for some reason, nothing was going in. It was words. All I saw was words. I would read. I made my way to half of the Quran, and the words were not entering my heart. I couldn't comprehend. I couldn't grasp the overall meaning of the Quran. But when I was listening to the Imam, I was able to comprehend a lot more. So that's what I did. I focused on asking a lot of questions while going to the sermon and benefiting that way. Eventually, my friend, he was sentenced and he left, so it was no more. There weren't any disruptions or anything that would set me back from actually benefiting from the Imam. So my time there, I was listening very attentively, and I just gotten sentenced, and I knew that if I didn't accept Islam there was a possibility at the new facility that I will go to, I wouldn't have the ability to accept Islam. At this point, my heart wanted Islam, but I still couldn't comprehend the Quran. But it was sufficient to me that it answered a lot of the questions that I had, or the Imam answered a lot of questions that I had pertaining to the Trinity, pertaining to the disconnection of the emotion that I have been raised in a Christian family, and disbelief of Christianity. And it answered some of the questions that I have pertaining to humanitarian issues and issues with regards to Islam being a threat to the U.S., the likes of this, and who was the Prophet Muhammad. So I decided I would accept Islam. I accepted Islam and hope to change my life, because like I said, 15 years old, leader of a gang, 120 people, in and out of drama, in and out of problems, problematic, hectic life. It's not the life that a person that age really wants to live. So I accepted Islam. And this is 3 weeks prior to me leaving to go to my new facility. And after accepting Islam, when I opened up the Quran, I was able to understand it. I was able to understand what the true message of the Quran was without the need of the Imam to explain it to me. And this is solely by the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that He guides whom He wills, when He wills. It's never in our hands. It's never in our hands. The purpose of my visit to Saudi Arabia was for, first and foremost, my first time visiting Saudi Arabia was for Hajj. I performed Hajj in 2001, and while being in Saudi Arabia, Mecca, Saudi Arabia, I put my application in for the University of Qura. There I graduated with a BA in Arabic Language and Islamic Studies and a graduate certificate in the field of education with the focus of Islamic Studies and Arabic Language. Alongside of my academic sacrifices for the university, I also was able to benefit from a lot of the other mashayikh of Saudi Arabia in a more traditional fashion, in circles of knowledge, the likes of that. So I spent a lot of time, most of my time, with Sheikh Abdurrahman Al-Ajlan, who is one of the ulama of Mecca, a former member of the Committee of Major Scholars in Saudi Arabia, the teacher of the Masjid al-Haram in Mecca. I spent a lot of time with Sheikh Wasil Abbas, who's also a teacher and lecturer at the Sacred Masjid. I spent a lot of time with Sheikh Muhammad al-Bazmoul, Sheikh Rabi'a bin Hadi al-Madkhali, Sheikh Saleh Fawzan, Sheikh Saleh Luhidan, the seasonal scholars that will come during the times of Ramadan and the times of Hajj. I spent time with Sheikh Abdulaziz Ali Sheikh. Another Sheikh I spent a lot of time with was Sheikh Sa'ad al-Shitri. Currently an Imam, Chaplain at a hospital in New York City. It has an established masjid that holds 5 salawats, classes, Friday prayer. We propagate Islam in correspondence with another masjid in a different hospital. The hospital I am responsible for as the Imam and Chaplain is Kola Memorial Hospital. If anyone wants to come and meet me, you can come and meet me at Kola Memorial Hospital, Roosevelt Island, New York.